there we go, wanted us to take a minute to kind of touch base with each other on Super Saturday. I think everybody, Yvonne didn't get to make it. She didn't get registered. You know how quickly they filled up this year. So those that aren't on, I'm recording it so that they can kind of get just a feel for what they missed and really just some of the takeaways that you guys walked away with. Super informal, but I know several of you, this was your first big Plexus corporate event, so that was really exciting. I love the fact that this is the biggest training event that Plexus puts on, and I think it's really great that they do it the first of the year because that's kind of when everybody is, thinking about just new goals, where they want to take their business, their team for the year. And I think there was over like 20,000 people that attended, nationwide. So it's huge. So I really felt like the content of what we got this year was really, really, really good. It was really streamlined. I love the fact that the things that we heard in Norman are exactly, what Keely heard in Houston, what you heard all the way up there in wherever you were, Kentucky, Tennessee, and then Dallas. I mean, they were sticking to a script. So I love that because in the years past, we've kind of gotten different things and different like nuggets of good stuff that we've had to just make sure we, shared that so that we didn't miss out. But this was really, really streamlined. And I feel I did want to say too, a couple people like in the South, because there were some that missed in Norman, but there will be a link coming out. You guys will all get it, even though we all got to attend, but like Raquel and Donna weren't able to make it. But there will be an event, and they recorded it at one of the locations. So that's going to be great. I plan to rewatch parts of it because just different things going on at the time of the event. Lots of weird things happened this year that were kind of taking our mind off of, what was the training at hand. But anyway, I think the main premise of what they shared was Rank Up Roadmap. That was really kind of the big thing. And Stacy's going to share with us a little bit about that in a second. But before she did that, I really wanted to talk about just the relationship marketing aspect that was shared, the idea of this storytelling, but really it all ties into this being in relationship building, I think, and being in this like relationship building business, which is really what network marketing is all about. And so if you think about it, what we really want to do with our network is obviously stay connected, but then connect the dots for people, engage with people and help connect the dots to help them understand why they need or should want what we have. The thing to remember is, 2% of the population actually know who we are. They know who Plexus is, only 2%. So that's kind of what we're here to do, is just to share, to connect with people, and then to share the products that we have fallen in love with, the opportunity that we have found, just to share that with other people. And so really quickly, I wanted to talk about these 3 parts of relationships that I think could be really beneficial to us. The first part is initiate. And so when you think about this, you think about initiating how those relationships that you have in your life, how did they initiate? Where did they come from? Where did they start? Did you initiate them? Did the other person initiate it? This is kind of like that bond that brings you together with that person. So I think just remembering too that people, this is my belief. You guys may agree or disagree, I don't know, but I really believe every person comes into your life for a reason. And I think I've seen this more so with Plexus than I have in any other thing in my life. A lot of you on the call are in my life because of Plexus, but even customers, people that I've kind of known that have reached out to me, I feel like it's because of Plexus. And I think with this, we have an opportunity to really be a part of something really great for people that can be life-changing for them. So the initiation part is just thinking about why they're in your life and where that relationship initiated or started. And then maintaining is the next part. And so how do you maintain those relationships that you have with people? Are you reaching out genuinely to people? Are you keeping up with what's going on in their lives? This could be like with your customers, obviously, making sure that they are drinking their water, staying consistent with their products, supporting them, encouraging them. But even bigger than Plexus, just the people in your lives, are you maintaining those relationships that you have. And I think that's a really critical and key concept, to just stay connected and stay communicating. And this is why we talk about the reaching out and the following up. It doesn't always have to be Plexus, but it's just getting us in the habit of being more mindful and intentional in our relationships, which is a really great way, I think, to live your life. And so the last step is advancing. And so this is when you kind of take it to that next level and you advance that relationship, and you make a point to get together to have coffee or a lunch date or a play date, or maybe write someone a letter, letting them know that you care about them. I mean, just being really mindful and intentional about your relationships. And the thing to remember is people are going to buy into you first, way before they buy into anything that you're sharing, selling, trying to share with them. They have to buy into you. So make sure they know how special, they are to you, and be that person who, makes people feel special. We all could use a little bit more people in our lives like that. So be that person for somebody else. And I think I say that only because for me, the big standout, and some of you guys may agree with this, but the big standout for me was Kendra Hall. She talked about storytelling, and she made a video for the Plexus Ambassadors, and they played it, and I've posted it. I'm pretty sure I did, but I'll post it again when I post the recording to this call. I'll post it in the comments. But she is an author. She's a professional storyteller, which I never knew that there was, such a thing as that. But she shared about this really simple concept of storytelling. I mean, it's simple, but it's super, super powerful. And she talked about how, you have to really figure out a way to tell your story in an effective way that draws people in, that connects people, and that kind of gets to the reason behind why you're doing what you're doing. And what's neat about this storytelling idea, it's actually kind of fascinating that it connects on a brain level in a sciencey, kind of neurosciencey way. And she shared this experiment that they did where scientists, they had a group of people, and they drew blood work with that group of people. And then they put them in a room, and they told them this like really captivating story. And then when they left the room, they redid their blood work. And what they found was every single participant had a raised level of cortisol and oxytocin. And so cortisol is actually a chemical that increases focus and attention. And then the oxytocin is that trust hormone. So it's that hormone that makes you feel at ease, like you can trust the person that you're listening to. So it's not just the words that you're saying, but when you're telling a story and you're intriguing, you're drawing people in. They're going to be focused on what you're saying. They're going to be attentive to it. They're going to be in tune. And then they're going to feel like they can trust you. They're going to feel a new connection to you. That doesn't mean that they're going to, necessarily be convinced on the spot, but you've connected with them on an emotional level. And that goes so far. So start thinking about that emotional connection with people and how you can tell your story in more of an emotional way. And she shared this story, and it's on the video, but she shared with us a story about her grandma and how her grandma made all these little crafts. And she talked about her grandma used to take her to McDonald's, and she would steal the small packets of jelly and shove them in her purse. And as she's telling this story, it's those little details that as a listener, you hear them and you start connecting them with your own experiences that you've had either as a child with your own grandma at McDonald's, whatever it is. But you're kind of co-creating your own story as you're listening to hers. And that's where that connection happens, because you're starting to place yourself in her story and you feel connected to her. You feel like you can trust her. And so you're just that much more likely to kind of, she talked about how her grandma was this amazing storyteller that sold crafts. And when she would tell these stories, even if people didn't need what she was selling, they would buy it because she drew them in with her story. So I think circling that back to Plexus, first of all, you guys, we have to share. We have to open our mouth. Somebody at the training said, your mouth is open. If your mouth is open, your business is open. But I would say if your mouth's not open, your business isn't open. We have to open our mouths and we have to talk. We have to share. sharing your struggles, your hardships, the experiences you had maybe before these products entered your life, before the opportunity entered your life. I mean, that's what's going to connect you to other people. They're going to see themselves in your story, and they're going to want what you have. And so really quickly, the 3 most important stories she talked about was that you need to have a why story. So you need to have that story that's all about, why are you here? Why are you doing this? Why are you passionate about Plexus? Why are you taking time out of your Thursday night to get on this call and to grow yourself, as a leader and as an ambassador? Share those moments and share those emotional connections. And so kind of just a quick example. She said, if your why is time freedom, okay, so you're doing this because you want to quit your job and you want time at home with your kids. You don't want to miss out on anything that they do. You want to be able to be the first parent that volunteers. You want to be at as many things as you can. Then what you need to do when you're sharing your why story, you're going to share a time that you had to go to work. You really, really didn't want to, because going to work meant you were going to miss out on an opportunity or an experience with your kids or some kind of program, something special with your kids or your family. But you were not at that time in charge of your schedule. So you had no choice. You had to go to work. And you're going to share that story, and you're going to say, I decided, it was time that I start controlling my own schedule. And that's why I'm doing this business. That's going to connect with so many people. That will stand out to them, and they're going to remember that. So have your why story, and then have your product story. And your product story isn't, the ingredients in the products. It's why you love the products, what they've done for you, and share it in a way that people can connect with, how you felt before, where you were, and where you are now. And then the last one is the opportunity story. So sharing what this opportunity has given you. It could be the extra money to pay a bill or your mortgage or a car payment, or it could be increased confidence. It could be some sort of personal development or change that you have seen that you never would have had if it wouldn't have been for this opportunity. Maybe you've been able to send your child to, a summer camp, or, a special vacation for your family. Find that special thing that's meaningful to you that is going to resonate with somebody else, and then help kind of connect the dots for them. So I will, like I said, I'll share that video. She was amazing. She's really intense and really has a lot of energy, but her message was really, really good. And it's just all about grabbing those little moments. We want to share the big picture of Plexus for sure, but we want to bring it closer to home so people can relate to what we're doing and why we're doing it. The idea, one more little thought, and then I'm going to pass it to Stacy, and then we'll kind of open it up and everyone can just kind of pop in and share some things that they loved. But just remembering that we are in attraction marketing. We're in the business of attraction marketing. And so what that means is it's all about being farmers and not hunters. And so I want us to all really make sure we understand what that means. We want to become a magnet, basically. We want people to seek us out. We want whatever we're posting about on Facebook to be so compelling and intriguing that they stop scrolling and they ask, oh my gosh, I wonder what she's up to today. I love her vibe. I love her energy. She's always doing something, something new, or she's doing this, she's cooking this, she's meal prepping. Whatever it is, become that most interesting version of you. I'm not saying be someone that you're not, but just share your life, other things that you're doing, and just be someone that you yourself would want to watch and follow on Facebook, I guess is what I'm saying. So when you're attractive like that, people are drawn to you. They want to connect with you. They want a little bit of what you've got. And that's attraction marketing. That's completely different than hunting people down. I'm sure some of us have been on the receiving end of that. But it's being interesting ourselves, but then also being interested in what other people are doing, getting excited about the things that you see other people posting about and commenting about that. Sending messages to them, doing whatever you can to connect in that way, not necessarily about Plexus, but building that relationship so that, when their hearts and when that door opens for you to share Plexus. Their heart and their mind, they've already feel connected to you. They already trust you, and they're just a little bit more willing to listen to what you have to say. So I think that the storytelling, I think that the idea of being that attraction marketing is so key. I really think it's super, super key. That's one of the things I'm going to try to work really hard at improving this year, because I think this is what's going to set us apart from everybody else and their dog who's doing a network marketing business right now. Always remember, you guys, our products, they are a need, not a want. Okay. Just tell yourself that every day, because I'm not saying the other products out there. I mean, Stacy introduced me to LuLaRoe. I haven't purchased yet, but I mean, I love the other stuff that's flown out there. I'm not saying I don't love the face wash and the leggings and all of that, but those are wants. What we have is life-changing. It is a need. People need what we have. So this is totally different. And so because of that, we have to do this differently. We have to be different. We have to set ourselves apart. So just remember that, you know, if you're not getting the fast sell, like some of maybe your friends you're seeing that are getting with other companies, I mean, it's okay. This is a need, not a want. People are going to circle back to you. You're in the right business. We're in the right company. We just have to make a choice to do things a little bit differently. So anyway, okay. With that, I want to pass it to Stacy. She's going to share a little bit about Rank Up with us. And then we will let's see, we've got like Pam and Keely and Tiffany, and you guys, just if you have anything you want to share. Jessica. Oh, and there's Jessica. Then feel free to pop in. But Stace, I'll hand it over to you, okay?
Perfect. Well, and I just want to kind of tag along to what Ashley was saying about telling your story. I've really been trying to listen to podcasts every day. So I did not today. Today was busy. But one of my goals is to several times a week listen to a podcast. And I've really gotten into Bob Heilig. He's Your Virtual Upline. And one of the things he was talking about this week, so the video that I posted about putting your information in front of people, sending the video and just like, hey, will you just tell me what you think about this? Like, no pressure, just tell me what you think. That was from him. But one of the other things that he said that stood out to me as we're talking about telling your story is don't portray that you have such a picture perfect life. Don't just post the highs, post the negative, post the failures, because that is what is more relatable to people than anything else. And it's true, because my post last Friday about the sink full of dirty dishes that I had was probably the most interaction that I had all week long out of anything that I posted on Facebook. And it was silly and fun. It kind of a joke, like make fun of myself kind of thing, because here I have a sink full of dishes, but that got the most interaction. So don't be afraid to post your failures either, would be my tip, just because I've seen that it makes you more attractive. So with that, I'm going to try and share my screen. So tell me if you can see it. That one. Do you see my back office? Yep. Okay. So the Rank Up roadmap that came out, they have put everything, well, not everything. It's a preview of Ambassador to Silver of the Rank Up roadmap in your back office. And it took me a minute to figure out how to get there. So when you log into your back office, this is what you see. If you go to training, there's a tab for Super Saturday. And actually, that video that you were talking about with Kendra Hall is on here. So you can go straight to it. So when you, have a new ambassador that signs up, what's going to happen with this Rank Up roadmap is they're going to be emailed a welcome video from a Diamond, a belief video about the company. And they'll get 3 videos. And then they'll get a perks video that shows kind of all the fun things that we do with Plexus, convention, trips, rewards. They'll get a belief video. And then the 3rd video is the Diamond welcome video. It's going to ask, have them think about why they joined, explains how to go silver once they've joined. and it allows them to select their training pace. So they can select option 1, which is kind of just, I'm just going to stick my toes in the water and just kind of explore, maybe just get my products paid for kind of pace. And then option 2 is a much faster pace, which will be learning. They call it the learn more and do more. So kind of like the earn while you learn approach. Will be quicker paced, but it's going to give ambassadors everything they need to get started. And it's consistent all across the levels. There's 5 keys to each level's training. So from ambassador to silver, silver to gold, and it's going to be consistent across the board. But to get a preview of the ambassador to silver rank up roadmap, it's already in your back office. Let me see. I don't know if that, yep. So you'll have there's a Super Saturday in Review video that you can watch with Jen. You'll have build your vision. So talking about building your belief with your ambassadors, and this is all stuff that we know and that we've talked about, but it's great to review, and it's great for those new ambassadors to really kind of get their memory going or jog their memory, have them really explore why they join Plexus, what their goals are, help them to build belief and create vision, which they all touched on more of that in more detail, in depth at Super Saturday. And there's supposed to be, Super Saturday materials. I think this is the Me Plus 3, I think. Oh, no. Sorry, it's not. Oh, okay. This is the slides that they showed at Super Saturday. So you can have, you can go through Super Saturday on your computer with these slides, pretty much. It's all there. And I think they gave out a handout, and it's a PDF somewhere. Everything over here, this has changed. And so goes through creating your networking plan, your Franks list. This is something that they really harped on, and this kind of hit home with me, that how important your Franks list is, and having a copy of it somewhere, not just in your mind, on a scrap sheet of paper, but actually having a physical Franks list. I have all of mine on cards, and I'm working on putting all of mine digitally into building my MLM. But they talked about the importance of having a Franks list, not prejudging anybody. We've heard it before, but to seriously not prejudge anybody, because you never know. You just don't. And a lot of the time, it's those most successful people that we don't think would want this that end up doing really well. And they talked about your elevator speech. And this was great because they gave us a template. And so it should be on the slides if you download the slides. And it was, when you write your elevator speech, I am fill in the blank. Who works with fill in the blank. Who want to fill in the blank. In order to fill in the blank. So the example that they gave was, I'm a stay-at-home mom who works with other women who want to work from home in order to put their families first and have an opportunity to earn additional income or live the life of their dreams or live life on their terms. Whatever it is, you just fill in the blank. And that's something that's easy, that standard formula, just to know. It makes it easy to memorize, but don't sound memorized. There's a fine line. So that was great. And to have just this, I had never heard it presented that way before. So I liked the formula because you can just plug and go. They talked about social media and healthy posting guidelines, having 1 to 2 personal posts a day, at least 1 to 2 Plexus posts a day, but making it your voice and not just sharing or copying and pasting. Because a lot of times what happens, and I've seen it, I've done it, when you copy and paste, there may be typos. And you copy and paste typos, and I've gotten messages about how it doesn't look so great because you're copying and posting typo. It just looks kind of silly. The other thing was to post surveys, giving people opportunities to share their opinions. Everybody wants to share their opinion, good, bad, or ugly, whether you agree with it or not. They want to voice their opinion to you. They want you to know what they think. So posting a survey, should I go to Chick-fil-A or should I go to Wendy's? Chick-fil-A is the obvious choice. But, for like, what should I do? I'm painting. What should I paint? Netflix or Hulu, whatever it is, something engaging. Because then that shows you who is seeing your stuff in their newsfeed. And if you like your own posts, what Facebook algorithm gods will actually show your post to more people. If you like your own posts, just if you didn't know that. But it allows you to see who is interacting with you, and who's seeing your stuff so that you can be more intentional. Like I have a girl who she talks about how she's tired all the time, and she's seeing some of my posts. So now I know I need to post something relatable about, I could be tired because I was up at 4:30, but I'm not because I had my pink drink, something like that. So you can kind of gauge where your audience is and who your audience is on Facebook specifically. Learn from watching your upline and your peers, Diamond Ambassadors, what they're posting. I love to see what Rebecca Folks posts. If you're not following her, she's a great one to follow. Emily Roberts as well, because they are super relatable. Timmy Yancey, she's hilarious. Hendrix, her daughter, I feel like I know her. And that's what you're going for, I think, is you want to be fun and relatable, and they have that. They've got that down. So then they talked about increasing your Plexus knowledge and the tools that we have and that are available to us. If you haven't gone through the Success Kit, if you don't have one, get one. And I think it was Aaron Zimmerman that said, I still go through my product cards and reread everything just so that I know. They did come out with a new compensation plan PDF that it's supposed to be in the back office, but the last time I checked, it was still the old one. So that update should be coming soon. I know that Nikki Hinkle shared it on her Facebook page, or like her team page. So it's out there somewhere. I just need to do a little bit more digging to find it, because where I thought it would be, it wasn't. But there's, and it's nice. So what is great about everything that they're giving to us, it's streamlined. And so it's all nice and neat and put together, and it looks like it should go together. It's not, this graphic that I made that I'm sharing, and then I'm getting something from another ambassador who put it together, and they don't look anything the same. There's cohesion with the materials that they're putting out across the board. I like that. Personally, my marketing brain likes that it all looks like one unit, like it's supposed to be together, and I think it looks more professional. So I'm glad to see that we're going in this way. So that is out there as well. There was a really good compliance video that should have been emailed to everybody that talks about the importance of compliance and the differences between saying with disease and pain and arthritis, and being specific versus being how you can be compliant but still get your point across. So check your emails. There have been a lot of emails that have come lately that if you haven't, they've had videos. If you haven't watched them, try and go back and find them and watch them. But we can all benefit from increasing our knowledge. You will never know everything that there is to know about anything with Plexus, anything with network marketing. There is always room for improvement. There's always room to increase your knowledge and increase yourself, basically, with personal development. You will never know everything that you need to know. we are regulated by the FTC and the FDA, and that's what they kind of talked about in this compliance video. I thought it was great. Kind of, people think compliance kind of boring. I thought it was good to know and good information to have. Then they talked about sharing the business. And this is where that video is. This is Kendra Hall that Ashley was talking about. She is very over the top and exciting, but her message it's a good one. And she has valid points and of making your story memorable. So this is a good video to check out too. Just take 15 minutes to listen to her give you tips about how to share your story. And one of the things that Ashley touched on it, when your mouth is open, your business is open. Conversely, I would agree with Ashley. If your mouth is shut, your business is closed. If you're not talking about it, nobody knows. Become a storyteller. Learn to share the opportunity and learn to follow up. We've all heard fortune is in the follow-up, and that's something that they touched on as well. So this is a great video to watch when you have a chance. And then the last thing that they talked about with the Ambassador to Silver rank up was exercising healthy business practices, and just making sure that you have a healthy mindset, that you're doing your daily routine, that you pick a good partner, and establishing IPA daily. I think that Tiffany, if you haven't seen it, and I'm going to brag on her for a minute, her calendar, her IPA calendar that she did for January for her girls is amazing. So you want to have a system and you want to have a plan of what to do. I'm maybe bending the rules, but I'm going to do it anyways. So we had a call with Jen Hawkins, and she, I'm going to take mine down because I did this. She showed how she has her life planned down, I think like every 15 minutes. And in that block, she's got an hour block where she does her IPA. This is my life. It's color coordinated and everything. Okay. So, tomorrow's Friday. So, and I'm working. I don't know if you can see this. So here's my little Plexus block tomorrow. And it says everything that I want to do in that hour. So prospecting with 3 to 5 people, following up with my prospects, responding to customers, posting on Facebook or to my team page, and very last, I'm going to be scrolling Facebook. And that's my IPA power hour. And it's actually blocked out for more than an hour, but I have each week or each day, I have some point, whenever fits in my schedule with work and all of my other commitments. And so finding what works for you and making sure and being accountable. And that's where your running partner is going to come in, that you two can keep each other accountable to or you 3, whatever it is, however many of you there are, but keeping each other accountable for what you're doing and the actions that you're taking. We all fall short. We all miss the mark some days. I didn't spend an hour today working my Plexus business. I spent 30 minutes in between making black bean and butternut squash enchiladas and finishing crafts for school and things like that. But you have to be accountable. If you're accountable to yourself, you're going to come up with excuses. And I have found myself doing that and falling victim to that if I can't say to someone, here is data, what I did today, to show that I worked my business. If I don't have that accountability, 9 times out of 10, I'm probably not going to do all of it. I may do some of it, but probably not all of it. So I would encourage you to have a running partner, somebody that will keep you accountable. to do what you need to do every day. And the last thing that they talked about was cultivating a healthy mindset. And this one was like light bulbs going off for me. So, and it's so true that you have to have a healthy mindset if you want to succeed, if you want to be successful, because the biggest thing holding you back is yourself and your own limitations that you're going to put on yourself. So you have to change your mindset and positive affirmations. That's where my mornings, okay. My personal development time in the mornings, it says 5 a.m. I don't know if you can see that. Y'all, that's early, okay? But I'm making the commitment to myself, well, and I made it to other people because I'm in this prayer thing right now, but to get up at 5. It's an hour earlier than I normally would, but I'm praying, I'm doing a devotional, I am reading, having affirmations, journaling, very introspective kind of time. We all need that. Okay. We all need little self-reflection. But if you don't carve out time for that in your day, you're not going to do it. So I think that pretty much sums it up, with Rank Up Roadmap. I'm excited to see. I got really excited to come back. I'm like, Rank Up Roadmap is here. Horse silver to gold. Let's do this. It hasn't come out yet, so I'm excited to see when it comes out because I'm going to be like on my computer. I think everybody saw me post it, and I liked what Erin Zimmerman said. Your business is flexible, but it's not optional. You can fit it into the nooks and the crannies, and that makes it flexible, but it's not optional. And they gave some other IP examples that I hadn't heard of. Handing out samples, and telling your story to others. I wouldn't have considered that IPA, but that was the top 2 that they said. So samples.
Yeah, and so it's recorded on here. So those that watch that aren't sure about Rank Up, they are releasing. So basically, it's a roadmap, for every rank. Once it's all released, like if you're a silver, you're going to get an email that immediately unlocks the silver to gold track. And then once you go gold, you will have access to the next track, the gold to senior gold. So they don't unlock until you actually hit that rank. But then once you hit that rank, you have access to all previous, tracks. So that's really great because then you're able to refer back to it as you're training your team. And I think that's one of the biggest things that to me is so exciting about this because, and those were some of the videos Jen had told me within the next 3 months. I think there's still some videos that they're working on, but within the next 3 months is when Ambassador to Silver and Silver to Gold, those are going to be the first ones that come out, and it will officially launch, start where people, they sign up, and within that first 24 to 48 hours, they're getting an email, which is awesome because that's when the excitement is high. And so Plexus is going to, get in there as quick as they can and get the ball rolling on this. So before they even have their success kit, basically. But this, for us as leaders, it doesn't replace what we need to do in training our downline and in training our team. But it does give you a template and something to follow. It gives you a way to allow people who want to do it on their own time to set their pace, pace 1 or pace 2, and work through it. It gives you something to follow up with them about. It's very, very, very duplicatable, obviously, because the people you bring in who want the business, well, guess what? The people they bring in, they're going to get the roadmap, the Rank Up roadmap too. So it consolidates that material. They will be updating videos and articles. It's not going to be the same. I don't know how often, but they did say, Jen has said that too, that it's going to change. They're going to update things, but it is a priority. So even though Silver to Gold, or Ambassador to Silver and Silver to Gold is what they're working on now, but it's a priority to get everything else rolled out. But I think it's 98% of Plexus is in those 2 ranks. So, I think it's very smart that obviously they're going to roll that out at the same time. So anyway, I'm really, really excited about it. We as leaders, we need to work. I tried to get in there I couldn't access any of that today, but we need to make sure we're familiar with all those tabs and all those videos that we've watched them. So we know what our team, what our downline's going to be watching. So thank you, Stacey, for sharing all that and reviewing all that. Thanks a lot. And then, okay, so anybody else? I mean, I know Keely, Pam, Tiff, Jessica, you guys are on. And don't feel pressure to share, but if there was anything that, just you loved about Super Saturday, just share. I mean, just kind of tell us what your greatest takeaway was.
I'm going to go, if you don't mind, really quick, because I have to get off. So Stacey kind of talked about it, but like I went back through my notes, and what really stuck out to me was the healthy business practices that you talked about as well. I don't know why, but Jessie and I spent, so she's my running partner, and I'm super excited to have her. And we spent a lot of last fall talking about how we really, really want this, but we really weren't doing all the steps and stuff. We weren't committed like we should have been. And so I don't know, I got fired up like mid-December, and I was like, okay, in January, I'm going to hit the ground running. And so that's kind of what we did. Like she mentioned, I made that calendar, and I'm going to keep making these calendars for the whole entire year because this keeps us on track. I cannot encourage you enough to find something that keeps you accountable, whatever it is, because honestly, doing this has, I think back to Ashley, you said on one call, you're going to reap your benefits in about 90 days of whatever you're doing right now. But just by what we've been doing in this first part of January, we've seen really great results. So it's been super motivating.
They both, let me just say this really fast. They have both already earned their Garmin, each one of them, the Garmin watch. So what that means is 500 PV, they've each signed 3 new customers and 3 new ambassadors. I mean, that is amazing.
Powerhouse.
I know, they are. They're the Plexus Power Sisters. I think that just goes to show, I mean, when last month and in November, you felt like a lot of your momentum was gone. I mean, you were saying like, the momentum's gone, but it's that decision of like, you know what? No, I'm doing this. Like, I'm going to get my plan. I'm going to do it. They did a booth. I mean, so kudos to you guys. That is hard to do. That is not an easy incentive to win. So, and it's, stinking January 19th. Like, it's not even the end of the month. So you guys are killing it. So anyway, sorry to interrupt. I just had to brag on you.
No, you're fine. But I mean, the reason why we're killing it, I think, is that us two and Dana have been doing that daily IPA and checking in with each other. And like, it's really paying off already, I think. Another thing that I had been thinking about a lot was the attraction marketing. And I listened to Celeste talk about that. And then I listened to her video that she posted today. And this motivated me, and I don't know if it will motivate you. It might just be my personality, but she was saying, people are watching you. People are watching you, whether they're commenting on your stuff or not. And she said not to be negative, but they're waiting to prove you wrong. And like, that fires me up. Like, I'm not going to hit another lull. I don't want to hit another lull. I want to keep going. I want to keep posting. I want to be positive. I want to do that attraction marketing. And I want to just continue. And, I'm not going to give people a reason to say, oh, well, you're not posting anymore, or, you're not committed. So it makes me committed. It gets me fired up. She also said, if you're not going to see results if you go to the gym 2 days out of the year. So that goes back to the IPA and just being committed and consistent. So that's what we're doing. I hope everybody else will do it.
Yeah.
We'll make you a calendar. You can use the calendar.
We love your calendars.
I have to hop off though, but I love you all. Team. Love you.
Congratulations again on your Garmin.
We're giving them to our husbands for being such
They're such good wives too. As though it doesn't get any better. I'm like,
I wouldn't do that for my husband.
We're trying to motivate them to be healthy, love.
True
Yeah.
love, true love.
Yeah. I'll go next. My what speaks to my heart from convention the most, or not convention, but from Super Saturday, is the whole idea of your mindset. And I've always been a super positive person. That's not hard for me. And my sister's always made jokes about like, you shit gold is what she always says, because like good things always happen to me because I've always been positive. But then everything I hear and everything I read goes back to you create for yourself the life that you want. You get what you put out there. And the quote she put on there, or one of the quotes that they said on Super Saturday was, Sarah Blakely says, hold on to the snapshot of what you want, and your subconscious will begin to make decisions to take you to that place. And I think that that's really powerful, that we have control of our thoughts and we have control of our future by directing our thoughts to being positive and putting in our minds the things that we really want and that are really important to us, and then consciously like making an effort to get ourselves to that place where we're looking at and dreaming about something that we really want in our lives. And then the second thing they said at the end was just thinking matters. So you create what you believe. So just having a good belief and building a strong belief so that you can create for yourself the vision that you have for your life and your business. And I just think that that's a huge part of training people underneath you and getting everybody on the same page and having success and being a motivating team. A supportive team is just all having that positive diamond mindset that we all
It's huge. It's everything. It's really huge. It's one of my favorite topics for sure.
Right. So bye, T.
Oh, it's like she's back. She couldn't stay away.
That's it. That's all I had.
Anybody else care to share? Pam or Keely?
I'll go next, if that's all right.
That's totally great.
A lot of the notes that I took, y'all have already touched base on. One of the things that I really, really enjoy about Super Saturday, and I went with two girls that are on different Plexus teams, but they live here really close to me. And anyway, it was just really nice to have somebody to, that's in Plexus. And because last year Wayne went with me, and Wayne wasn't really keen on the idea of going to another Super Saturday. So, but it was really nice. And I remember we were all talking. For one girl, it was her first Super Saturday, and for me and the other girl, this was our second. Well, it's actually my third, I think, and it was her second. But I said it's kind of like, to me, it's like a pep rally. It's reeling you in, and you're reaffirming the love that you have for the company and the product. And I heard someone say that, I guess, and I didn't hear it, but there was some negative talk. And I thought, that just reaffirms that our mindset and our attitude is so important in this business, because there are a lot of new people that go to Super Saturday events, and you could run it in a heartbeat for somebody. You could, if you were, if you let your mindset and your attitude reflect or give off bad vibes consistently, then, you're going to reap what you sow in your business. I really feel like that, I love the way that Plexus is so uplifting and helpful, with their ambassadors, and learning how to do that. And because I know for a lot of people, if you work a corporate job, or you just work a regular 9-to-5 job, no matter what it is, a lot of companies do not invest in their employees this way. And I love that Plexus does that. It's one of the things that I really, really love about this company. So, one of the things I was going to point out was, they were talking about exercising healthy business practices, which we've already covered that tonight. You can do that by being consistent, selecting a running partner, creating that daily routine, establishing your daily IPA, and cultivating a healthy mindset. So the other thing, they shared that Henry Ford quote again, and I know a lot of us have seen that, but I absolutely love that quote, and I'm probably going to hang it up somewhere here in this room, but it's the one where it says, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. And that is just so true because, we all know, I mean, there's lots of people out there that we've not even come in contact with yet, but we all know how important our mindset is, because if we've already talked ourselves out of doing something that we're afraid of before we've done it, lots of things can happen, like procrastinating or not doing it or not giving it your all. So that's one of the things. But the other thing, before we left Super Saturday, and I know you all know about it because all of y'all were there, what moved me the most to my core was the unity in the room, the oneness that felt like we were all one family, because when we all got the news of the families that had lost loved ones, it was like every one of us in that room had lost someone. And everybody, I mean, we were in tears. The three of us were in tears, I don't know. I have never been involved in anything in my life or worked for a company before where I have experienced that. And just to know that it is truly, truly one plexus and we're one family, that right there, I guess you could forget. I love my products, don't get me wrong, but that right there means the world to me, because, I'm a people lover. And so, that is probably a moment in time that I will never, ever forget. So.
And I think it's, we hear him say, our ambassadors come first. They tell us that all the time. But to me, that was like living proof. You know what I mean? It was like, we'll stop the training if we have to, and we'll all come together and we'll pray, we'll do whatever, and I don't know. I agree with you, Pam.
Yeah.
And one thing I was going to say about, you were talking about mindset and all of that, but just another reason that is so important with your mindset and getting into a place where, even though you do things and you're afraid, but just having that confidence. And I wrote down, I don't know who said it, but that confidence is key. And if you hesitate, your prospect will hesitate as well. So
yep.
If you are finding yourself in a place where you're hesitating for some reason, there's a good chance there's some more self-development that needs to, there's some self-development that needs to happen to help you get over that hump. And I was talking to Jen today, actually, and she was asking me, we were doing a coaching call. We haven't ever been able to, it was awesome, but we've never been able to do those before. But she said, okay, tell me what your self-development plan is for the year. And it's just like, she's a diamond sapphire and she has a self-development plan, even still, and she wanted to know what mine was. And so you just can never stop developing and growing yourself. You really can't. And once you get the confidence, but you keep going even beyond that, but you do have to have that confidence, because if you waver, the other people, they're going to waver too. So anyway, thanks for sharing, Pam. I loved all those takeaways.
Oh, you're welcome.
Julie, what about you, girl? Raquel had to hop off, so she said sorry. She wanted to try to be rude. She just texted.
She just mentioned like a bunch of the stuff that I was going to mention. But one of the things that really hit home to me that I have a hard time with is, when I reach out to someone and they tell me no, or put me off, or whatever their excuse is, one of the things that really hit home to me is that no doesn't mean no, it just means not right now.
Yeah.
And so I have to keep that in my mind, because I also, when someone says no, I like take offense to it, like, why don't you want to trust me with these products? And so you have to, not take no as a literal no, but and also not take it personally. And then another thing, I wrote down all these little notes, but another thing that I thought was kind of interesting is that your wants are not your whys. And so you really have to dig deep behind your why to find out, truly what makes you cry, basically.
Yeah.
And so, because there's so many times that we want this and we want that, and everybody, when they say that they want to succeed in Plexus, it all starts with, we want this or we want that. And you really have to dig deep to realize, is that really a want, or is that truly your why? So just finding your true why. And then the positive affirmations. I saw a couple of quotes today that I thought were really good. One of them says, when you master your mindset, you free yourself to achieve the level of success you desire. And then the next one is, do not judge me by my successes. Judge me by how many times I fell down and got back up. Because I feel like that's, sometimes I get caught up and bogged down in my daily life with 2 little ones, and I sit down at the end of the day and I'm like, oh my gosh, I haven't even done one thing with Plexus. I mean, I've done my posts, I'm pretty consistent about that, but I just feel like so many times I feel like I failed. And so I need to just keep my mindset positive and keep pushing, basically. But other than that, I had other things, but everyone else pretty much covered them. So thanks for that. I didn't have to but it was good. It was good Super Saturday.
Yeah. It was good. And so now we're, gearing up for convention. And I don't know if you guys know who Nicole Gorgon is, but let me stop